Economic Development Banquet. Our banquet tonight is about honoring those who have made Macon County a success in the past, also looking towards the future and what we can do to make Macon County a success going forward. We're excited to have Chancellor Belcher here tonight, and I'm secretly hoping for one of those Sports Center moments, and I have tested these tables will support us. In 2013, our objectives for the EDC were really to strengthen the small business community and also try and lay a foundation that's going to be required for business growth into the future. We're fortunate in Macon County that we actually have a very diverse economy between manufacturing, government, tourism, and this economy has grown in 2013. Our outdoor market grew substantially between Outdoor 76, Three Eagles, and Harmony House. Angel Medical Center's affiliation and officially joining of Mission has led to increased services. It's led to an increase in availability. It's also helped provide us with a soon state-of-the-art cancer center right here in Franklin. Old Edwards Inn, Macon County Airport have both had significant additions to their plant in this year. We've actually started creating some strategic alliances between Western Carolina, Southwestern Community College, and several Macon County businesses. As we look towards the future, we're excited about some new opportunities, such as the groundbreaking that took place over at Parker Meadows for our new recreation park. We have we'll call it a beverage manufacturing plant coming shortly. We're in a Baptist fellowship hall, so we should try and keep it politically correct. All in all, 2013 has been great, and the beginning of 2014, and making sure that we are set for growth that's going to come. I'm really excited to have you all here. Thank you for everything that you've done to contribute to our success, and I hope you enjoy our evening. With that, if everyone could stand, and Commissioner Haven's going to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. With that, Janet's going to lead us in an invitation.
Let us pray. Holy God, we gather in thanksgiving for a land where we can earn not just a living, but a life. May the work we do be motivated by good for all, and grant that the importance of our tasks not make us feel full of self-importance, but lead us to be ever more eager to see our community thrive. Help us to always act in fairness and with justice, and to keep our hearts open to mercy and compassion. Keep us remembering that people are always more important than things, that life is more than our profession or our possessions. Bless all those who strive to provide for family and employees, for those who serve the public, for those who work to see our business community grow and prosper. Bless the food we are about to share and our fellowship in this hour. Hear our prayers for your love's sake. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, this is a tradition, so if everybody will turn around and smile at the camera. Tony Angel, make sure you're on Facebook and Twitter before the night's over. And we might have to cut off the comments, but it'll be good. It'll be a good event. So. Okay, it's time to eat, folks. The head table first. Chancellor, as our guest, please make your way to the table. Then we'll start here on the front rows and work your way to the left. And please. Y'all continue eating, and hope you're enjoying your meal. One of the highlights we have each year at our EDC banquet is our entertainment, and we're lucky to have some folks with us that will be familiar to you, that have entertained for us before, and they've always do a great job, and we love to hear them. The Overlook Theater Company, I got it right, didn't I, Scott? So put your hands together for Scotty Corbin and the Overlook Theater Company.
Thanks a lot. We even answered a "Hey you," so that's all right. I am Scotty Corbin. We have Nikki Corbin with us, Samuel Crabtree, and Kathy Graham, and we are members of the Overlook Theater Company. Some of us, Kathy and I especially, have been performing together for the last 20 years. We're about to hit 20 years, so she's much older than me. But she stuck around even through her geriatric state. So, but we're excited to be here with you tonight. We appreciate you letting us give you a little dinner music as we go along. And we just finished a really fun run of Disney's Broadway version of Tarzan a couple of weeks ago, and we're making our plans for the fall. And these are a couple of songs from a show that we're going to be working on for the fall called "Let the Good Times Roll." It's a fun little romp through the music of the 50s and 60s about boy meets girl, boy loses girl, and boy finally gets back with girl. So something all of us have experienced. So Tony, if you'll hit it. And it all starts with a simple wish. Oh Venus, Venus, if you will, please send a little girl for me to thrill. A girl who wants my kisses and my arms, a girl with all the charms of you. Venus, make her fair, a lovely girl with sunlight in her hair, and take the brightest stars up in the skies and put them in her eyes for me. Oh Venus, goddess of love that you are, surely the things I ask can't be too great a task. Venus, if you do, I swear that I will always be so true and give her all the love I have to give, as long as we both shall live. Oh Venus, goddess of love that you are, surely the things I ask can't be too great a task. Oh Venus, if you do, I promise that I always will be true and give her all the love I have to give, as long as we both shall live. Oh Venus, oh Venus, make my dreams come true. Oh Venus, and then you get the girls' side of the story.
Stupid Cupid, you're a real mean guy. I like to cook and you so you can't fly. I'm in love and it's a crying shame, and I know that you're the one to blame. Hey, hey, you set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. Can't do my homework and I can't think straight. I need him every morning, not a half-past date. I'm acting like a lovesick fool. You've even got me carrying his books to school. Hey, hey, you set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. You mix me up good right from the very start. Hey, go play Robin Hood with some that bothers me is that I like to find a stupid Cupid. Hey, hey, set me free. A stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. You messed me up good right from the very start. Hey, don't play Robin Hood with somebody else's heart. You got me acting like a crazy clown, and I don't picture what you're putting down. Dance or kissed his loving lips of wine. The kid that bothers me is that I like to find. Hey, hey, set me free. A stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. Hey, hey, set me free. A stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. Stupid Cupid.
Then they finally realize they can't live without one another at all. My eyes adore you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adore you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adore you. So close, and yet so far. Headed for city lights, climb the ladder of misfortune and fame. Worked my fingers to the bone, made myself a name. Funny how I seem to find that no matter how the years unwind, still I reminisce about the girl I miss and the love I left behind. My eyes adore you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adore you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adore you. So close, and yet so far. My eyes adore you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adore you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adore you. So close, and yet so far. So close, and yet so far. And then boy gets girl, and at last there's fireworks.
I'm gonna sing to y'all. You have the rear ends of everybody.
thanks for letting us come and having a little bit of fun with you tonight. We hope you enjoyed dinner, and thank you, Mr. Jenkins, for inviting us back, and have a good rest of the night.
Thank you, Scott. Let's hear it one more time. Thank you. That was great. Now we're going to move on with our program. To introduce our keynote speaker this evening is a man who needs no introduction, so I won't give him one. Phil Drake of Drake Software.
What I need is a conclusion. That was a joke. It didn't go over very well. Dr. Belcher assumed the role of chancellor about 3 years ago. He's just finishing up his third year. He oversees a student body of more than 10,000 and a faculty and staff of over 1,400. Prior to coming to Western Carolina, he served as provost and vice chancellor for academic affairs at the University of Arkansas in Little Rock, a position that he held for 8 years prior to that. He began his career as a faculty member at the Missouri State University, served there for 15 years. The last 9 of those years, he was dean of the institution's College of Arts and Letters. In that capacity, he served as the founding director of the Missouri Fine Arts Academy. He is an accomplished pianist. He's appeared throughout the United States as a recitalist and a chamber musician. He holds degrees from Furman University, the University of Michigan, and the Eastman School of Music at the University of Rochester. In 1981, he was awarded a Rotary Foundation Graduate Fellowship to study in Vienna, Austria. While he was a student at Eastman, he held a 1-year appointment to the school's piano faculty and was named the recipient of the, I can't pronounce this, but somebody's Memorial Scholarship for excellence in musicology research. He holds the Doctor of Musical Arts degree from the Eastman School. He serves on a number of boards now and in the past. He's very civic-minded. He's a native of Barnwell, South Carolina. He's married to Susan Brumwell Belcher, and by the way, I just ought to tell you, he married up. She is also a professional vocalist who was formerly taught voice at the University of Arkansas Little Rock and co-chaired the music department recruitment committee. He is an avid WCU sports fan. One of my most memorable ball games this year was sitting right beside him at a basketball game, and you kind of have to put one finger in one ear while he hollers defense most of the game. I have seen him focus to strengthen the relationship between Western Carolina and the community that it serves in these last years since I've been on the board. Would you welcome with me Western Carolina Chancellor and my friend, Dr. David Belcher.
Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be here. And you know, my theory is timing is everything. How did this end up right in front of me when I have to get up and speak? It really is a pleasure to be here, and I should note that I was a little bit hesitant about accepting this engagement when I realized that the speakers for your last two BizWeek banquets no longer hold the jobs they had when they spoke. I'm just wondering if you know something I don't. Truly, it is a real privilege to be here with you. I want to address three basic topics this evening: where we are, where we want to be, and how Western Carolina can be a partner to help us get there. So, first off, where are we? It's my view that we are in a paradigm-shifting moment in which a number of factors are emerging in disruptive fashion to change the way we work, play, and live. I don't pretend to be able to identify all of these contributing factors, but let me suggest several that seem pretty clear to me. First, technology. which is changing at a breathless pace and transforming our world just as quickly. Let's look at just one narrow industry. Since I went to college nearly 40 years ago, the recording industry has moved from one built around vinyl LPs to 8-track tapes, to cassette tapes, to CDs, to our current menu-based options like iTunes, through which we can purchase just one song instead of the entire album. For us, the consumers, it seems like a pretty great deal to me, and we don't have to worry about storing all of those vinyl records and CDs, though I probably should admit at this point I still have about 700 vinyl LPs. But imagine the disruption to the actual industry in which a product that one can hold in one's hand, like a CD, is disappearing, in which recording artists, because of the customer capacity to purchase just one song at a time, no longer can count on full albums or CDs to generate publicity and name recognition, and in which the recording business models must be completely rethought. Technology is rapidly transforming our world and in virtually every industry. A whole set of disruptive forces centers around it's everybody's favorite topic, healthcare industry, and includes the rapid rise of healthcare costs, the rapid rise in numbers of people who cannot afford healthcare, exacerbated even further in recent years because of the massive impact of the Great Recession, and the increasing shortage of healthcare providers and the resulting increase in the numbers of the underserved. There may be those of you who disagree with me on this, but I'm not sure we have much clarity yet in where this industry is going or how the change will sort itself out. But that these disruptive factors are changing the healthcare industry is not in doubt. Medical records have migrated to electronic format to support goals of quality healthcare and efficiency and consistency. But those whose jobs are focused on medical records have experienced a major change in the way they do their jobs. Healthcare systems, agencies, and organizations are consolidating and merging to ensure quality health care, with the result, in some cases, of the elimination of certain services in certain locations that, within the framework of larger organizations, duplicate existing operations elsewhere. The growing trend in cross-disciplinary care, in which patients are cared for by teams of specialists from a variety of fields as a group rather than by one specialist at a time, responds to the need for quality and more efficient health care. But this trend is also changing how we deliver healthcare education to prepare future healthcare workers for this new model, and is necessitating the retraining of seasoned workers who are facing the need to completely revamp their work. And need I mention the Affordable Care Act? I'm not wading into that debate. I mean, do I look crazy? But there's no doubt that the ACA, which emanated from a desire to provide health care coverage to many more people, is changing not just the healthcare and insurance industries, but pretty much every business in the country. And perhaps the most disruptive factor of recent years has been the Great Recession itself, the fallout from which continues to complicate an already complicated landscape, and which is playing a significant role in fundamentally changing aspects of our society. Clearly, large numbers of individuals are experiencing economic stress, and that translates into stress at the local levels, in regions, and in states, and at the national level. There are not enough good jobs in some parts of the country, including our own. In some places, jobs exist, but workers don't have the appropriate skill sets and training. The economic crisis, though, is impacting other parts of our world as well, and I would suggest can result in significant change in a variety of arenas. Let me just offer one example, and that is my own field of higher education. The economic crisis of the recent years has resulted in declines of state revenues, which means that universities have not had as much money to work with as a result. Western alone has lost, just in the last 6 years, $35 million on an annual basis from what it used to get in state appropriations. At Western, we've responded by eliminating academic programs with few majors, eliminating an entire division, and in so doing, we are more efficient and we're saving money and reallocating resources to other needs. But as we at Western and in higher education look ahead at the horizon ahead of us, We don't see that money that we used to have coming back anytime soon. And so as we contemplate how we're going to grow to provide educational opportunities to greater numbers of students, and how we're going to extend our reach in pursuit of economic and community development in the western region of the state, we're looking for alternatives. That is, we are forced to change how we do business. One such alternative approach will be the next building to go up on our west campus, which we will pursue not by building it ourselves, but through a land lease deal with a private developer who will build a medical healthcare office building right next to our new College of Health and Human Sciences. This public-private partnership will be fantastic for our students because they're going to leave these great classrooms and laboratories and go right next door to work in internships, getting real job training right there next door. Our faculty are going to pursue, with practicing professionals, some great opportunities at looking for applied research solutions. And what's going to happen on that campus is that a healthcare hub is going to develop, which will serve all of Western North Carolina. Loss of state funding has prompted us to change the way we do business and to seek out alternative revenue streams and means of fulfilling our mission, and that can be a very good thing. So what I'm trying to say is that we live in a time which seems to be framed by crises. A technology crisis, a healthcare crisis, an economic crisis, and a long list of others that I haven't even mentioned. I have no idea where these crises and the accompanying changes are taking us, but I do know that we have two basic choices in front of us. We can ignore them, assuming that we can ride it out to a point when life will return to the old normal, a very bad idea, or we can seize the crises, attempting to harness the change which is coming to strengthen our position in what has been called the new normal. I somewhat flippantly subscribe to the philosophy that a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. The change which results is different, and different is uncomfortable, but change could very well be better. What we know for sure is that change will be, and those who will negotiate change best will be those who take and use it to their advantage. Sorry you asked me to speak. So that's our context. That's where we are, at least from my perspective. So the next question is, where do we want to be? Well, I'm in no position to answer this question for you here in Macon County or for the greater region in any detail. That's your job, your responsibility, and your right. But let me share three thoughts you may want to consider as guiding principles as you explore answers to this question of where you want to be. First, think carefully about how you do your long-range planning. There are two basic ways people tend to plan. One which takes its point of departure from the starting point, and one which takes its point of departure from the ending point. In the case of the former, starting with where you are, the planner says, well, here's where I am, and I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And after 5 years, you've moved from here to here. You've made progress. In the case of the latter, though, the planner, with a lot of thought, analysis, input, and doses of both realism and ambition, says, this is where I want to end up. That's my goal, and here are the steps that are going to get me there. Both of these approaches will result in progress, but the latter will get you a lot farther down the road faster than will the former. So my first word of advice is start with your end goal in plain sight. Second, in some ways, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here because I know you people. I've been over here to this Rotary Club several times for their scholarship banquets, and I know this town loves education, but I'm going to preach this anyway, even if you are the choir. As you pursue economic development for Macon County, deepen and strengthen your commitment to high quality, high standards education as a fundamental community value. And as you do so, make the increase in the percentage of your population which has a higher education degree, whether it's associates, undergraduate, graduate, whatever, a priority goal. There are many reasons that it should be. For example, national statistics indicate that those with a higher education degree on average lead healthier lifestyles, vote at higher rates, and participate in civic and community organizations at higher rates than those who don't. Those are really good things. But let me focus in on issues of earnings and unemployment rates by educational attainment. It is well documented that the higher your level of education, the greater your lifetime earnings. According to a 2013 report by the College Board Advocacy and Policy Center, a typical bachelor's degree recipient with no additional education, no graduate work whatsoever, can expect to earn about 65% more during a 40-year working life than the typical high school graduate earns over the same period. That's significant. In addition, though the economic challenges of the last few years have impacted all sectors of society, the unemployment rate for those with an undergraduate degree is substantially less than for those with less education. Let me offer some statistics that I just pulled off the web on Monday from the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, and this was just updated 1 month ago today. There's a caveat. These are national statistics, so they're not North Carolina statistics, they're not Western North Carolina statistics, but they do give you a sample of what the situation is in 2014 nationally. In general, nationally, for the population with less than a high school diploma, unemployment is at 11%, and the median weekly earnings is $472. With a high school diploma, 7.5% unemployment, $651 in median weekly earnings. Some college but no degree, 7% unemployment, $727 median weekly earnings. An associate's degree, 5.4% unemployment, $777 median weekly earnings. A bachelor's degree, 4% unemployment, $1,108 median weekly earnings. And master's degree, professional and doctoral, all post smaller unemployment rates and greater median weekly earnings. So high school diploma, 7.5% unemployment rate, undergraduate degree, 4% unemployment rate. High school diploma, 651 median weekly earnings, undergrad degree, 1,108 median weekly earnings, a difference of $457 per week. Those are big differences. This was not always the case. It wasn't the case for me when I was growing up. It was not the case in my parents' generation. In those years, higher levels of education were not so critical to employ without the certification of a higher education diploma. But let's face it, there just aren't that many Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Sam Waltons in our contemporary society. But this strong suggestion that you as a community place a premium on education is about more than just getting students to go to and graduate from a college. The fact of the matter is that very few young people can just wake up in their junior and senior years of high school and decide they want to go to college and pursue that goal successfully. When a student goes to college, they need to be prepared, for example, to take and pass college algebra. In order for a student to be prepared for college algebra, she has to do well in high school math. Doing well in high school math requires attainment in middle school, and so forth and so on. And just to put a fine point on this topic through example, Western Carolina this year has received 15,387 applications from potential freshmen for approximately 1,650 slots. We accept those students whom we perceive through test scores and high school GPAs to be prepared for the rigors of higher education experience. So it's not just about taking and passing math by the skin of one's teeth. It's about doing math well. And honestly, I'm not here trying to advertise Western. I'm advertising for higher education and the difference it can make in the lives of your children, their futures, and your community's future, be it through Southwestern Community College or Tri-County Community College, UNC Asheville, Gardner-Webb, Mars Hill, as well as Western, any institution except the one he went to. I had to say that. And he wore purple. A student's educational path from birth through higher education must be an intentional one. And I maintain that it takes families who are serious about a first-class education and communities who value educational attainment to guide that intentional path, student by student. One final point on this topic of education. I've offered what I think are pretty convincing statistics regarding personal benefits of education, but the benefits of education accrue to communities as well. Macon County has businesses and industries which it wants to sustain and grow. That will require an appropriately trained and educated workforce. Macon County wants to recruit new businesses and industries. You must have an appropriately trained and educated workforce to do so. When I urge you to educate your young people, the last thing I want is to have you educate your young people for jobs elsewhere. I want your young people to apply their educations here in Western North Carolina. But it's a chicken and egg kind of conundrum. Which comes first, the jobs or the educated workforce? It's a hard question to answer, but I can pretty much guarantee you that jobs will not locate to an area where there is not an appropriately trained and educated workforce. Third, Macon County must pursue its economic future as part of a larger whole, the Western North Carolina region. We live in a time in which regions have become the fundamental geographies which have defined economic competitiveness. There was a time when towns competed against towns and counties against counties and cities against cities for business and industry. And we in North Carolina share a history shaped really by our geography, wherein mountains like Cowee and Balsam sort of exacerbated our separation from one another. But the time of such isolation and competition between neighbors is largely over, and one need only look at some thriving areas to see the new model. Greenville-Spartanburg, South Carolina, for example. My parents grew up in Spartanburg County, so I can talk about them. Those two cities have an historic rivalry, but they have forged a collaborative way forward which probably got its most significant jump start from the location of the BMW plant in Greer some years ago. The region has grown beyond that plant into an automotive powerhouse region, and that didn't happen with two neighboring counties working in isolation. In our own state, 3 cities with 3 universities, but within 3 different neighboring counties, launched decades ago what we know today as the Research Triangle Park. And that partnership has turned into one of the most legendary research regions in the country, and one that has attracted company after company after company. And an example from my own experience when I was provost at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. In 2008, Central Arkansas was vying with 2 other regions in the country for a new Hewlett-Packard plant. Central Arkansas got the plant by working across county lines. The plant was located in Faulkner County, a more rural county, but not too far from Little Rock, because of the available land and space and package the county could put together. But one of the key reasons that HP chose Central Arkansas was its access to the engineering graduates coming out of my university, located 25 miles away in Pulaski County. Our engineering dean collaborated as a member of the team working to recruit HP to our area. But trust me, the HP employees in Faulkner County are shopping, dining, and getting entertained in Pulaski, and I'm sure a lot of them live there. A business moving to the region helps everybody. Regions today compete with regions to attract business, industry, investment, tourism, talent, and the creative class. And if you in Macon County are going to be successful in this environment, it's not that you don't pay attention to yourselves. I'm not saying that at all. But you have to pay attention to your neighbors as well. So what does this regional partnership really look like? Well, I can't answer that question for you. But I would urge you to explore cross-county collaboration in efforts which each county individually is already pursuing, but which would have greater impact if the counties pooled their resources. So, for example, if every county west of Asheville has a tourism office or budget, don't you think we could get more bang for our buck if we pooled at least some of the tourism effort and money into drawing people to our region instead of trying to get people to come to visit just a single town? I mean, could we orchestrate a mountain Main Street trail, or an antiques trail, or a crafts trail, or a waterfall trail, which takes people from Waynesville through Silva, Bryson City, Franklin, Hayesville, and Murphy? Could we do a joint website in which we delineate all outdoor activities in the region, or great home cooking in the mountains, or haute cuisine in the mountains, or bed and breakfast inns in Western North Carolina? I mean, that's just one possibility, and maybe that's not such a great idea. There are lots of possibilities, but make no mistake about it. We're living in the time of the region, and we will either succeed together, or we will struggle really hard on our own. So those are my 3 words of wisdom for defining where you want to go. Plan with your end goal in sight. Deepen and strengthen your commitment to high quality, high standards education as a fundamental community value. And pursue your economic future as part of the larger region. So finally, how can Western Carolina partner to assist? Well, let me begin by saying that Western Carolina is first and foremost willing to partner in meeting the needs of Western North Carolina. 2 years ago, we went through a very extensive strategic planning process, and one of the signature results of that process was the institution's reaffirmation of its commitment to Western North Carolina. Western does not have all of the answers, and we never will. And we are only part of the equation. But we are partners with you in pursuit of economic and community development, and we have intellectual capacity and discipline-based expertise to bring to the table. With that as context, let me offer a few examples of some of the work we're doing and the resources we have to offer to our region, including Macon County. This is just a sample, but I hope it gives you a glimpse of the resource that I trust you will see in Western. The single most important thing we do for our region is to produce graduates. Our strategic planning process a couple of years ago resulted in our identifying 6 areas for curricular focus, which represent the point of intersection between areas of strength at Western and what the people of the region told us were their priorities for workforce development when we did a listening tour through this region. Those 6 areas are education, healthcare, creative arts, environment, innovation and technology, and tourism and recreation. And as Western allocates and reallocates resources, precious funding, we do so with those priorities in mind so that we can meet those workforce needs. So let me just offer you, 3 examples of key programs that might be of particular interest to you. First of all, engineering. Just over 2 years ago, Western Carolina, after a number of years of trying, received approval to offer a standalone engineering degree. This is a game changer for our part of the state. And I'm going to use an example from before I got there, so I'm not bragging. I had nothing to do with this. Central Arkansas had been trying to recruit engineering degree in various industries into Central Arkansas, Little Rock, North Little Rock, and they were failing miserably. They brought the Milken Institute in to do a study for them. Tell us what we're doing wrong. And they came back and said, it is pretty simple. The companies you're trying to recruit have about 12 things on a list, and if you're missing a single one of them, they're going to wipe you off the list and go to the next city because everybody wants them. One of the items on that list was an engineering degree within 50 miles. Until we got our engineering degree 2 years ago, the closest engineering degree to here in the state of North Carolina was in Charlotte. That's 4.5 hours of the state of North Carolina unserved. This is important. We're not looking to build massive mechanical and electrical schools like you find at State and Georgia Tech. That's not what we need. We are building a flexible general engineering program with fully accreditable concentrations in mechanical and electrical. Our enrollment in Cullowhee has soared. In fact, we are almost outstripping our capacity. But we were really gratified last year when in a year of very tight budgets, the General Assembly gave us the funding to take our engineering degree to our new instructional site at Biltmore Park in Asheville. Thus, we're actually going to be able to double the number of engineers that we're producing at Western Carolina University. This program is game-changing for Western North Carolina. Nursing. We have an incredible nursing program at Western, and it ranges from bachelor's degrees to our new Doctor of Nursing Practice, which is going to provide professionals to address the increasing shortage of general practitioners in this part of the state. And I'm very proud of our School of Nursing for their recent receipt of $1 million grant to support their recruitment of nursing students from underserved and underrepresented populations in Western North Carolina, with the long-term goal of sending those graduates back to their home communities to meet the increasing nursing shortage there. But I've got to tell you about a specific nursing program which Western developed in collaboration with AB Tech in Asheville, but which we have now expanded to include Southwestern Community College. And so this is one that is particularly of importance, potential importance to you. It's called the Ribbon Program, the Rapidly Increasing Baccalaureate Nurses Program, and it's designed to address the acute shortage of undergraduate trained nurses. Here's how it works. Students in the Ribbon Program apply both to SEC and Western Carolina simultaneously. For the first 3 years, they take all except one course per semester at SEC, and those one per semester is at Western. At the end of that third year, they get their associate's degree, they can stand for their certification exam, and they can get a job. The fourth year, they come to Western exclusively. But here's the kicker. The total cost for all 4 years is $17,000. $17,000 for a nursing degree in 4 years. If you've got nursing students who are interested in this, you can do this through SEC and Western. It is a great program. And teaching degrees. 125 years ago, Western was founded to bring educational opportunities to the people of the mountains. And meeting that need has been at the heart of who we have been and will be going forward. We're still doing an incredibly good job, and I want to tell you about it. The General Administration Office in Chapel Hill that oversees the entire University of North Carolina system works with a research center at Chapel Hill to assess the quality of teacher preparation programs. And here's how they do it. They go out and see what the learning outcomes are of the children taught by the graduates of each of the education programs. And they do it by level, so elementary, middle school, high school, and they do it by subject matter. Want to take a guess at who has the best high school English teacher preparation program in the state of North Carolina? That would be Western. We aren't at the top of the heap in every discipline yet. But we have great teacher preparation programs. And given what I've already said about the importance of education, we have got to have them. We've got great programs all over the place. I mean, it's social work, emergency medical care, recreational therapy, forensic science, forensic anthropology. But just this year, U.S. News and World Report ranked Western Carolina 34th in the nation in the category of the best online undergraduate programs. 15 institutions in North Carolina were on that list. We were the top of the heap. We're producing graduates who are prepared to take their places in building the economy of our area. I want to wrap up with just a few of the other resources that we have at Western. Some of you I know have already taken advantage of some, and some of these may be new to you. The Center for Rapid Product Realization is an incredible resource and outreach center for engineering programs which utilizes reverse engineering and prototyping to assist, sustain, and grow businesses in Western North Carolina. And we just received a Golden Leaf Foundation grant, which is going to add to the capabilities in that facility, 3D printing in metals. This is a huge resource for businesses like Tectone and Duotech Services, and Caterpillar, and Shaw Hardwoods, Franklin Tubular, among many others. The College of Business's Center for Entrepreneurship is a center that essentially is a portal for small businesses in our region to access the full range of capabilities that we have on our faculty in the College of Business, like marketing and management. And I know Macon County has already taken advantage of that to some extent through your partnership with Scott Rader, one of our rock star faculty in marketing, who's been working with Macon County in efforts to lure industries and businesses to this area. We have our Small Business and Technology Development Center. Tommy is here representing that group, arguably one of the best in the state of North Carolina, which has all kinds of resources to assist small businesses. With the addition to our faculty of Steve Morse, a tourism and tourism data guru, Western's Hospitality and Tourism program is kicking into high gear to support the tourism industry in Western. Some of you may have attended the first tourism conference, which Steve and his colleagues hosted a week ago. He and his students have compiled amazing data about what tourism is offering our region. And just to tantalize you a bit, according to a study compiled by students in his tourism and hospitality strategies class, tourists spent $135.76 million in Macon County in 2012. That's not, of course, just dollars spent once. Rather, dollars spent for meals and hotels and gas get spent again and again, producing a ripple effect through the region. And those expenditures generate local tax dollars to support local priorities. And given Macon County's tourism assets ranging from the draw of Highlands to the growing outdoor recreation market associated with the Appalachian Trail and other natural attractions, this kind of information is incredibly helpful for local policy development. That hospitality and tourism program is going to be a major resource for you. As you may be aware, I mentioned earlier, we opened a new Health and Human Sciences facility about 2 years ago. It's a 160,000 square foot, $46 million facility, state-of-the-art labs, state-of-the-art classrooms, where our students and faculty are doing amazing work. But the piece of the building that I love the most is the bottom floor, which is all clinic space. This is where Western has some of its own clinics, and other private partners are leasing space to offer clinics that can be remarkably helpful to this region and which provide all kinds of opportunities for further partnership with organizations like Angel Medical Center and Highlands Cashers Hospital, both affiliated with our longtime friend and partner, Mission Hospital. And I want to mention the Western North Carolina P16, that's pre-kindergarten through college, Education Consortium, which is a relatively new undertaking in which Western is partnering with educators at every level: pre-K, elementary school, middle school, high school, community colleges, and universities, in an effort to produce more holistic efforts in educating our people. Our first effort was last year, in which we pulled people from all of these different levels of education to explore ways to facilitate better math performance among our students. It was a remarkable experience, in which ended with vertical teams of teachers who were from pre-K, elementary, middle, high school, community college, and universities, talking about curriculum and how we can seamlessly hand off students from one level to another. It's just a start, but look for that Western North Carolina P16 Education Consortium to pull us together as a group of educators. This is just a glimpse of some of the things we have to offer at Western, and my hope is that as you pursue economic development, you'll find ways that are appropriate to you to tap into what we have to offer. We can't do everything, and we're not the only resource, but we're an important one, and we charge you to use us. We're living through a period of huge change, a period in which change is, but rather on our courage to seize and harness strategically the energy of change for the benefit of those we lead and serve. Western Carolina is here for you. We're all in this together, and I, for one, am thrilled to be along for the ride. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chancellor Belcher. I believe you'll keep your job next year at this time. It's always a pleasure to hear about our school at Western Carolina University and to rub it into Kevin Corbin at Appalachian State a little bit. We do appreciate those comments, and we will take those to task as we work in the future. Okay, next on our event is, as you know, every year we do the BizWeek honorees, and this is an annual event where we recognize outstanding contributions of people in our community and organizations who have made substantial contributions to the economic well-being of the county. Since our first inaugural BizWeek honors in 2012, our first year, we recognized local industries Duotech Services, Tectone, Caterpillar, Shaw Hardwoods, and Drake Software. Last year, we recognized JC and Frankie Jacobs, Angel Medical Center, Old Edwards Inn and Spa, and Raymond Page from Franklin Tubular Products. These are folks who have made outstanding contributions the last couple of years. This year, we are proud to introduce two more. And as our tradition, I don't do the talking. I get people who know what they're talking about to do the talking. So to introduce our first honoree is Commissioner Jim Tate. Commissioner.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all letting me do this. This is quite an honor for me because this individual has been an idol to me for a long, long time. In 1948, Kurt and Mildred Wilson started Wilson Electric Service. Kurt, a World War II veteran, having served 4 years in the Navy, put the hard work and dedication that got him through the war into his electrical business. His formula proved to be quite successful. As the times and circumstances changed, Dennis, his son, continued in the footsteps of his father's hard work and dedication to build a fuel oil business to help people heat their homes. He then ventured into the propane cylinder business to bring gas to people's homes and businesses. Over 65 years later, Dennis, better known as Doc, and C.A. Wilson Electric Service are still going strong, employing individuals in Highlands, Cashers, and Pickens, South Carolina. The company continues to evolve with the area to provide a growing family of services such as Wilson Gas Service, propane. They offer propane gas delivery, gas tanks, piping, fireplaces, and more. Wilson Fuel Oil Service, delivery of home heating oil. Wilson Sand and Stone, which is a Highlands convenient location for a source of sand, gravel, and concrete products. Cashier Service Center, a full-service Napa car care center for automotive needs. In addition, Doc also owns and manages Heritage Transport Services, a common carrier trucking and transportation company. Now that you've known a little bit about Doc's business side, let me tell you about some more personal items. Dennis is a native of Macon County, raised in Highlands, high school in Highlands, and then he went on to attend Clemson University. I won't hold that against you, Doc. Returning to Highlands after graduation, Dennis has devoted many, many hours to the community that he loves. He has been president of the Highlands Chamber of Commerce, and he is especially active in the Highlands Rotary Club, where he's a former sergeant of arms of the club. He is always there and ready to help with club projects and fundraisers. He has led the way with the 4th of July barbecue cooking efforts almost every year, and has recently become the official duck dropper for the Rotary Duck Derby. In 2012, Doc and C.A. Wilson Electric and Gas Service were presented the Dale Roberts Award for the most outstanding small business in Highlands. Having lived here all his life, he is deeply invested into his neighbors, while at the same time is aware of the needs beyond our town. He is an active participant in the Clemson University Mentor Program, where he pairs up with an undergraduate student and offers advice and counsel, and shares his experiences with others. From a personal experience, I can tell you that Doc was one of the first people in a line of encouragement as I personally set out to become an entrepreneur myself. He is always readily available to offer advice, and someone that I would without a doubt look up to as not only a mentor, but as a friend. Beyond our area, he has been to Bolivia several times as part of the Highlands Bolivian Mission, taking his building knowledge and people skills to the people of Montero, and has since been an active board member and advocate for that organization. Please join me in welcome Doc and his wife Cheryl. Thank you.
I have spent most of my life in Highlands, excuse me, but Doc Ed Angel gave me a rather firm kick in the rear to get me started in this world many years ago, okay? Jim, thank you very much, and I thank all of you for the recognition. Our company, I guess over the years, has been able and willing maybe to change, and I'm not sure that's the secret to survival, but Dr. Belcher, I do agree that I think nothing is as constant as change, and I hope that continues to be. But thank you very much. On behalf of my many customers, employees, and my family, including my wife, Cheryl, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. And for the press and whoever wants to get pictures, we will do pictures after the, we will do pictures after the awards whenever we can get everybody together. Obviously, she's not listening. Okay. Next, our next honorary presenter will be my good friend and your good friend, Ron Weinkoff.
Honored guest, distinguished head table, and you too, Ronnie Bill. Tonight I am privileged and lucky to be introduced to you one of Franklin's most successful men over the years that I have known. And our honoree tonight is Ed Shatley. Ed grew up in East Franklin. He attended East Franklin Elementary. Now, I know that y'all didn't realize that school was that old, but it's been around a while. And he went to Franklin High School. Upon graduation, he matriculated down to Chapel Hill, and he still thinks that good people go to Chapel Hill to die. Upon returning from Chapel Hill in 1961, he married Jane Cagle. Hey, Jane, how are you? Couldn't you get any further back? And then he entered the U.S. Army. When he returned from the Army, he and Jane were blessed with two lovely daughters, Sharon, who is a teacher at MBI, and Laura, who she and her husband own a Chick-fil-A business in, God bless them, eastern North Carolina. Ed and Jane have 3 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. When the Army was satisfied, Ed came back and he joined Warrior Agency at that time. Today it's Warrior Insurance, and Jim Garner operates it. But at that time it was Warrior Agency, Inc. And he was the 3rd staff member, and they had about $300,000 in volume, total premium volume. In 40 years, almost 40 years, wasn't quite that long yet, he was able to grow the business to $22 million premium volume with 30 employees. If my math is right, that's about 1,000% increase, Joe. During the period, he purchased 12 separate, cleaned up, and strengthened the 2 agencies that was left in Franklin and Highlands, and he sold them to Jim Garner. Now, that don't sound like much, ladies and gentlemen, but let me tell you, he put forth a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, and some tears to accomplish all that. But in addition to that, he's always been interested in community. Over time, he's been around for the Franklin JCs, the Methodist Church, and the Rotary Club, and he served in leadership positions in all those entities. He served on Macon Bank's board for over 20 years. During his tenure there, Macon Bank added 9 branches in 7 towns and grew assets from $164 million to $770 million. He served as chairman of the board and chairman of the audit committee during those times. It's not like that anymore. We don't grow like that anymore. Angel Medical Center has always been a passion for Ed. In 1970, he, along with some other young, aspiring JCs, established a physicians recruitment committee, and they funded it with money they raised selling hot dogs and Coca-Colas. The committee won a national JC award and was successful in recruiting Dr. Choi and Dr. Johnson, and then helped to grow our medical staff from 3 at that point to the 45 and a very successful institution we have today. Warrior Insurance, Macon Bank, and Angel Medical Center have all come a long way, baby, and it's with Ed's help. He's also been involved in economic development in the area his whole career. He encouraged and supported county commissioners in 1975 when they purchased the current industrial park. There's about 400 jobs out there today, folks. With the promise of additional jobs at the industrial park, the Economic Development Administration approved a $500,000 grant written by the county commissioners and Mayor Ed Henson to build the town of Franklin's current water system. Now, those are both great achievements. Recently, Ed, along with the county and Tommy Jenkins and others, and the town, Joe was involved, they convinced Franklin Tubular to buy the plant in East Franklin, and they saved 125 jobs there. So when they accomplished all that, Ed had come full circle. He come back to his backyard and finished up, and then he quit. Ed, come up here and get this award.
Ronnie, I didn't know you could make up so many things. I appreciate this honor. The whole trip through the thing has been a value to me, a community that has given me much more than I have given it, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear it one more time for both our honorees. Ed's a man of few words, but lots of actions. So we appreciate you, Ed. Okay. Now, it's for a new event this year, a new competition. We're doing the 2014 Macon County Business Plan Competition Grand Prize. This is our first competition, our first annual. The competition is a project of the Macon County Certified Entrepreneurial Community Leadership Team, designation we received from Advantage West, Scott Hamilton. We're glad to have you here this evening too. Along with our strategic partners, Southwestern Community College's Small Business Center and Western Carolina University Small Business and Technology Development Center. Did I get that right? Our CEC leadership team is made up of Josh Owens. Josh, if you'll stand, I appreciate it. Judy Chapman, hold your applause, folks. There'll be plenty of time for applause. Judy Chapman from DNet Services. Judy, I know you're already standing. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go to somebody besides Dr. Hill. Hey, folks, I invited him tonight, you know, if you're not here yet. Mike Chapman and Ken Murphy. Ken, are you here? Okay, Ken's our liaison of our EDC Commission. We appreciate these guys. Along with Tiffany Henry from SCC and, of course, Tommy Dennison. So this is your leadership team for entrepreneurship in Macon County. Let's give them a good hand. The business plan competition kickoff was held this past November for competition's participants to learn the details of the competition and interact with successful entrepreneurs who share their insights about planning, developing, and growing a successful business. Beginning in January of this year, SCC, through the NC Real Entrepreneurship Program, held a series of 8 workshops designed to assist potential entrepreneurs in developing a successful business plan. While not required to participate, several of our contestants took part in these informative and educational workshops. Of course, none of this would have been possible without our grand prize sponsors. DNet Services, Macon Bank, Angel Medical Center, Duke Energy, the Southwestern Commission, Council of Government, Region A, United Community Bank, Tectone, Bill Construction, Wyatt Insurance, New South Strategies, Franklin Chamber of Commerce, and the Highlands Chamber of Commerce. Let's give our grand prize sponsors a good. And I'd like to recognize Tanya Snyder, who is also with NC Real. There were 17 initial applicants for the competition. Of those 17, 13 successfully submitted business plans for the competition. So I think that speaks a lot to our team and Southwestern and Western for a job well done in advising these participants. Judges reviewed the 17 submissions and narrowed the field down to 3 finalists for oral presentations. Our judges for the competition were Dr. Scott Rader from WCU, Tom Quigley, retired here, former Senior Director and Broadcom Fellow, Advanced Broadband Architectures at Broadcom, a global leader in wired and wireless communications, who is also current president of Swiftwater Music. Stan Jeffers, retired financial executive and current Macon Bank board member. Wendy Cagle, regional director of SBTDC at Western Carolina University. And Sonja Haynes, Dean of Workforce and Economic Development at Southwestern Community College. Let's give our judges. The 3 finalists in alphabetical order. It sounds sort of like the Hunger Games, doesn't it? Okay. We're going to drop y'all out in the wilderness and see what happens. Matt Bateman. These are in alphabetical order. Switchback Brew Market. Switchback will offer a unique selection of super premium craft beer products by the glass, bottle, or growler, and locally, regionally produced specialty food goods, all in a convenient location that encourages socializing with friends and colleagues in a relaxing atmosphere. Community-minded, Switchback also looks forward to working with local charities and nonprofits on a regular basis. Matt. John Falk, High Country Travel. As a new transportation company, High Country Travel will provide alternative passenger transport to mountain visitors and corporate clients spanning several counties. High Country will provide around-the-clock services and cater to each individual's group's needs. The company's long-term goal is to be the top-rated shuttle service in the region. Robert and Gail Vitale, Waterwheel Manufacturing, Inc., a water jet cutting and fabrication company incorporated in January 2014. Waterwheel Manufacturing will provide critical technology fabrication services to client companies which require precision component manufacturing in Western North Carolina and beyond. They will utilize computer-controlled ultra-high pressure water jet technology as an alternative to traditional cutting and machining methods. This sophisticated technology is generally unavailable to corporate clients within a 150-mile radius of Franklin. Bob. And if I could get my entrepreneur team to come up. Let's have one big round of applause for all our finalists. And does anybody have the envelope? The envelope, please. Okay. Chancellor, would you like to read the name?
I didn't even participate. No, just kidding. Waterwheel Manufacturing, Inc.
Come on up. Whoa. You got a big check.
Oh, I'm overwhelmed. and we'll take some more pictures as soon as. But you want to say a few words, Bob?
Other than being overwhelmed.
Use the mic.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all the work that the committee put together to get this to happen. I'm overwhelmed and really pleased. I want to thank all the people that have helped me get to where I am. A number of the agencies that have been mentioned tonight have helped me move forward with my project. Again, it's a lot of people have helped in getting me to this point in the program. Other than thanking all those people, I want to thank my wife, and I also want to thank Paula Smith, who was a big part of helping me put this program together. And again, the community and all the people I've had and been dealing with, again, been super to help me put together my project and this new company that is going to bring manufacturing back to Franklin. Thank you. Thank you.
Bob, I don't think this will cash yet, but we'll work on that tomorrow. That's right. That's right. Folks, in this competition, there really weren't any losers. I attended several of the sessions where people were working on the business plans. We have several of our business plan folks here today. Would y'all stand up who participated in the business plans? And there's some great ideas. And you know, one of the best things that a gentleman told me who worked on his business plan, and he called me and he told me he wasn't going to go forward with it. He said, you know, I'll probably save myself a whole lot more than $5,000 learning I didn't need to go in business. So you know, it's sort of some reverse engineering there, I guess, Chancellor. Congratulations and thank you to everyone who worked hard on this. And all I can say is I know there'll be some successful businesses. Out of those 13, I know a good number of y'all are going to be really successful. And we look forward to working with you in the future on that. Actually, Kelly Weed, are the Weeds still here? Weeds, Kelly's got a business called Sweet Weeds Bakery. And Kelly actually brought a few of her product with her this evening. So on the way out, please go back and sample some. Well, folks, it's been an exciting week. Excuse me, an exciting week. We started out on Monday with our quarterly industry roundtable. Sponsored by Angel Medical Center, Jim Bross, and the Mission Health Systems, where we had a good roundtable discussion on the Affordable Care Act. Lots of interaction there. Tuesday, we moved on to some fantastic seminars with Martin Brossman that really helped people looking to get into business and people who are actually in business now to how to grow their business better. Wednesday, last night at Motor Company Grill, we were pleased to have Henry Doss, a contributing columnist for Ford's magazine, who was our keynote address. Lots of good interaction with entrepreneurs and good fellowship, and just a good time had ball. And of course, tonight we wrap up with our 2014 BizWeek Banquet. A couple of people I really need to thank that I forgot to thank last year. One is Tony Angel. Tony's the one who makes he knows I wait till the last minute and call in a panic, and he says, don't worry, we'll handle it, and we do, Tony, thank you. And someone I really need to thank, or not go home, it is my lovely wife, Rob. Folks, that's it. Thanks for coming. I know I'm not as good looking as Kevin Costner, but we did. Better. Golly, I'm going to be jobless tomorrow.
sorry, I'm just excited this is coming to an end. My good friend and a good supporter of economic development, Kevin Corbin, Chairman.
I see, I was right on the front of his mind. I want to hear what Kevin's got to say. I know what closing remarks means. That means I need to stand up, speak up, and shut up. We're ready to go home. So I'm going to do that. Give me about 3 minutes. I wanted to say to Tommy Jenkins what an outstanding job he's done with our economic development. Outstanding job. And as you guys know, the Economic Development Commission operates under the Board of Commissioners, appointed by the Board of Commissioners. So I'm going to ask the members of the EDC that are here tonight to just stand, if you would, Tommy, and all the members of the EDC that are here. Let's thank these folks. And you met one of them already, but I want to introduce my fellow commissioners and ask them to come up here and stand with me. First of all, the Vice Chairman of our board, Mr. Ronnie Beal. Welcome, Ronnie. Don't stand sideways, Ronnie. They won't be able to see you. All right.
I can be seen.
Jim Tate, our District 1 representative. Jim. And Ron Haven, one of our District 2 representatives. And in closing, I want to say this, that Dr. Belcher did a great job speaking. I love this guy. I've been in several meetings with him, and he did a super job. Did not do good tonight. Really good. But I do regret wearing this dumb purple tie. I really do. It was a mistake, and I just didn't realize it till I got here, and he thanked me for wearing it, but I didn't mean to. But he mentioned that a commitment to education, and I can tell you our Board of Commissioners is committed to that. This board and past boards have been committed to not only building and improving our schools, as Dr. Baldwin said, we've worked with them in many ways to help improve our education. We're going to continue that because that's very, very important. If you're going to have a strong, vibrant community, education's got to be a top priority. 50% of our budget is education. I'm proud to say that. Second thing you mentioned was working as a region. And I'm proud to say that I thank the region. Region A is what we're part of, which is the Southwest Commission. That's the 7 western counties. If you don't know, that's made up of all the commissioners of those counties, the mayor of each town, and the aldermen, persons of each town as a large group. And I'm the president-elect of that group, and I appreciate them for electing me. I guess I appreciate that. But we're going to be working, one of our priorities is going to be working together as a region, not only for tourism, industry development, and that kind of thing. So I want you to know that. A couple of things we're doing as commissioners to help foster economic development and growth in jobs is mission in several years. I understand that. So what we like to look at is the fact that the North Carolina Department of Revenue does what they call a, what's the term?
Revenue neutral.
Adjusted tax rate. And that they're no help. These guys are just standing back here. They're not listening. Yeah. And they take into account when your valuation was done, value of property, how your property is selling, all those factors are put in together, and the Department of Revenue says we have the 4th lowest effective, that's the word, we have the 4th lowest effective tax rate in the state of North Carolina. That's important to help businesses to locate here, to know that our taxes are among the lowest, not only in the state, but in the whole country. The second thing we've done is in the past 3 years that I've been on the board, we've reduced regulation on businesses. We've done things like we've cut in half the regulations such as the subdivision ordinance and things like that without, in my opinion, endangering our environment. But we try to be a board that's friendly to business, friendly to economic development, and we're for that. We're for business and for our community to continue to grow. So with that said, Tommy, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good night.